What up, what up, what up? Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Reds Weekly Recap presented to you by Impact Sports Cincinnati. I am Chris Asbrock, and I am going to be your host once again as we are taking a look back now at the third week of the Reds baseball season here in 2021. And it was an up and down week to start off. Last week we discussed the series over the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now we are going to take a look back at the three-game road trip that ended up in San Francisco before the Reds came home and faced the Cleveland Indians here in a homestand, the first of, six games on the Reds homestand. So to start off, the Reds, they traveled out after losing 2 of 3 to the Arizona Diamondbacks, traveled out to San Francisco to face a Giants team that, they were, they had struggled a little bit moving into, basically, from their series in Colorado where they had actually done a really good job of taking care of the Colorado Rockies. But the momentum kept up with the Reds, throughout their first part of the season, despite losing their last two in Arizona. The Reds were able to come out and they captured a 3-0 victory over the San Francisco Giants. Wade Miley got the victory. He goes moves to 2-0. Aaron Sanchez, he got the loss. Lucas Sims did get the save. Jesse Winker, he drove in 2 of the 3 Reds runs. He goes 2 for 4. He hit a home run off of Aaron Sanchez in the third inning, and it was a 2-run home run there. And then Joey Votto followed up in the 6th inning with a shot into McCovey Cove. So other than that, the Reds were able to, they were able to survive the fact that they were only able to muster up 5 hits. 2 came from Winker, 1 from Castellanos, Votto, and Suarez. So from the first through 4 batters of this lineup, the Reds, they were able to get those hits, from those 4 guys. The rest of the lineup was all an offer. And that kind of says all you need to know right there about that. But, a great pitching performance by Wade Miley. He goes 5 innings. He gave up 2 hits. He struck out 3, and he did walk 1. TJ Antone, who has been nothing short of phenomenal this season, he goes 3 2/3. He struck out 5 and only walked 1. So Lucas Sims came in and he pitched, got the final out of the game. He struck out, it was via strikeout. But the Reds only gave up 2 hits. So that's something you want to see there from this pitching staff is, that ability there to get the job done when called upon. And that's exactly what they did. So the Reds were able to, they were able to make it happen. Again, off another great performance by Wade Miley. And the Reds, like I said, Reds got it done when needed. They followed up Tuesday nights with a game that got away from them. And it got, it got ugly. It got ugly early, but the Reds were able to rebound twice, I guess is kind of the best way to put it here. Reds struck for 4 runs in the top of the first. So before this game even really got going, the Reds were already in a position there to where, they were already, they're already in a great spot. However, Luis Castillo comes out, and it was cool out, and that did it for him. It was 54 degrees, which is freezing to most people, especially to my wife. I can tell you that. But it was breezy, 19-mile-an-hour wind straight out the center field. Not an ideal spot for Luis Castillo. However, he was not saddled with the loss. He did go 5 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs. All 4 were earned, and those were all in the first inning. And he did give up 2 home runs. He struck out 7, though, of those batters he faced. Sean Doolittle, he goes 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of those were earned. He did strike out 1 and did give up a home run. Carson Fulmer came in. He went and finished up the sixth inning. He did give up a hit and did get a strikeout. Cionel Perez was the one who was saddled with the loss. He gave up one run. He did walk two. And basically, he was the bad luck loser on this one. He was the one who gave up the final run. That was in the seventh inning. But, you look at it, the Reds gave up 4 runs in the first. Nothing until the sixth inning where they gave up 2 runs and then one again in the seventh to lose 7-6. The Reds were only able to get 7 hits against Peralta and McGee were the two that, Wandy Peralta was the one who got the credit for the victory. Kevin Gossman was outside of the first inning. I mean, he shut the Reds down. He went 6 innings. He was the starter here. 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 5 runs. All 5 were earned. He did walk 2, struck out 7, and did give up 2 home runs. And like I said, Wandy Peralta did come in, and he was able to get the win. Rogers and McGee followed up in the 8th and 9th innings there to give the Giants the victory. But the Reds again, they weren't able to get much going after that first inning, which you want to see with your top pitcher on the mound in Luis Castillo. You would hope to see a little more from this team. Unfortunately, they just were unable to get it going and get it done when needed. They were only 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They left 3 guys on base. Now, but you look on the flip side, the Reds pitching staff did a pretty darn good job. The Giants were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They left 7 men were left on base, on the flip side there for the Giants. But giving up a double, a triple, and then 3 home runs, it's a little tough there. Really after you're put in this position to where you get a 4-0 lead, and then you come back out in the bottom of the first, and Yastrzemski goes yard along with Brandon Crawford. So right there, it's not an ideal situation for the Reds. And like I said, they were only able to get 7 hits throughout the game, and two of those came from Nick Castellanos. One from Blandino in a pinch hitting position. Moustakis and India, along with Suarez and Votto, each had just 1 hit in the game. Again, this is a game where if the pitching staff steps up, it's not even a question. This team, they stick with with what got them there, and that's gonna the offense is gonna be enough. But the pitching staff in a game like this, when you're saddled, when you get in the saddle there and you're already up 4-0, boom, you got to keep that going. You cannot afford to give up, 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning to have the team tied after you just kicked them in the teeth to start the game off. That can't happen. Unfortunately, it is what it is in this. So again, the Reds were unable to hold it when it mattered. They were given a loss, and at that point that's tough. The Reds were, they were knocked down to 7-4 on the season. The Giants improved to 7-4 on the season after that. Going into the rubber game of this 3-game series, was a Wednesday day game out there. So, and the Reds faced an old face in Johnny Cueto, and Johnny Cueto was typical Johnny Cueto. He did a great job in this game. He improves to 2-0. He went 5 2/3 innings. He only gave up 3 hits. He did strike out 4 before he did come out. He was injured. He wasn't feeling right. But other than that, the bullpen for the Giants only gave up 1 hit, and that was McGee in the top of the 9th inning. The Reds, other than that, they were unable to get anything going offensively. Tyler Mahle, tough luck loss there. He gave up 3 hits and 2 runs, and both were earned. He did walk 1 and struck out 7. Sean Doolittle came in and pitched an inning. He didn't give up anything. He struck out 2. And Sal Romano came in, pitched 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, and an earned run. So tough luck there for Tyler Mahle. But again, the Reds, offensively, they sputtered out west, and that's, again, something you can't have happen. Winker got a hit, Joey Votto with a hit, Moustakas and Tyler Stevenson all were able to, to get on in the box score there with hits. So, that's just tough luck. Sometimes you're going to run into a pitcher like that who was dealing. And that's exactly what the case was here in this game, where they just could not get it going, and unfortunately, it did them in. So again, the Reds, after falling to 7-5, Giants improved to 8-4. Again, tough luck loss there for the Reds when they just couldn't get anything going. The pitching staff kept them in this game. Again, offense has to find a way to muster, at least a couple runs here and there to keep it a lot closer than what it was. But giving up 2 runs in the 5th inning and then 1 again in the 8th, you still felt the game was close, especially after Johnny Cueto went out. You're still, it's only 2-0. But then when they tacked on that extra run in the 8th inning, you kind of just felt okay. Took all the wind out of your sails because you just kind of felt it wasn't going their way and they couldn't get anything going offensively. You just kind of felt that, this was it. And unfortunately, that's kind of how it played out. So, again, a tough loss there for the Reds. They, like I said, they lost 2 or 3 in that series, which, last episode I discussed, this road trip here, they couldn't afford to drop all 3 to the San Francisco Giants. Bare minimum, they had to at least take 1. Traditionally the Reds do not do well on the West Coast. They never have. It's one of those things to where they just struggle once they go west. And, unfortunately that happened here, but Reds were able to take the first game of the series to give them, a chance to at least take 2 or 3, if not sweep the San Francisco Giants. Fortunately, that didn't happen, but, with them coming into this, bare minimum, they had to take 2 or 3 from the Cleveland Indians. It started off great on Friday night with the off day on Thursday, the Reds, the travel day, they came back and opened up, against the Cleveland Indians. And I tell you what, man, it was quite an interesting, it was an interesting game. Reds came out and just flat out blew the doors off of the Indians to start it. And, in a game like this where Jeff Hoffman, who, I think he's looked very solid so far for this team. He's been a pleasant surprise. He gives you 6 innings pitched. He only gives up 7 hits, only 1 run, and it was earned. He did walk 3. He struck out 4. The 1 run was a home run in the 2nd inning off the bat of Ahmed Rosario. Other than that, this team, they, pitching staff-wise, this is exactly what you would expect from a Reds pitching staff here. Cionel Perez goes an inning, Carson Fulmer goes an inning, and so does Cam Bedrosian. All 3 guys, go an inning, gave up 3 hits combined. They did only strike out 2 combined in those 3 innings, but, again, we're able to slam the door outside of the Cam Bedrosian where he gave up the home run to Jordan Luplow in the 9th inning. Other than that, the Reds did a solid job defensively for the pitching staff, and they got it done offensively, as we can note it here, to where Jesse Winker had a hit, and he was 1 for 5. Nick Castellanos 2 for 4. Eugenio Suarez goes 1 for 4. Joey Votto 2 for 4. Jonathan India and Kyle Farmer each get a hit, along with Tyler Stevenson, and even Jeff Hoffman gets in on the act, and he gets a hit as well, as the Reds got 10 runs on 11 hits. It's one of those things to where, hey, we're looking at it. You got to think positive. The Reds did leave Six men left on base. They were 6 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Home runs from Votto and Castellanos, doubles by Suarez and Votto as well, where the Reds did a great job of really slamming the door shut early on, and that was with a 7-run third inning. After Cleveland took the lead, like I said, off that Ahmed Rosario home run in the second inning, they were held scoreless for the next 6 innings before they did score twice in the ninth. But other than that, Reds offense got the job done. They got in the third inning. Like I said, they tacked on 7. They tacked on 2 more in the fifth and then 1 more in the sixth. And they're up 10-1 going into the final 3 innings of this game. And outside of, like I said, 2 runs in the top of the ninth, this game was well out of reach. And the Reds did a great job. Same thing with their bullpen as well. So this is the kind of performance you wanted to see from your team. And, we knew the Reds were going to hit this year. It was just a matter of, the consistency of it. And we're seeing that, in games to where, when the offense isn't quite going, that's where the pitching staff has to step up and make it happen as well. And that's what we're seeing here from the Cincinnati Reds, especially in yesterday's game when, things were back and forth in this game where the Reds, they scored in the second inning and then proceeded to give up runs in the third and fourth before they were able to, to tie it up. Tucker Barnhart got things going in the second inning with a home run. But then again, like I said, this team, a 3-2 victory where they came back in the bottom of the ninth and then the bottom of the 10th, they get the game-winning, hit from Tyler Stevenson. This team, again, Triston McKenzie, you watched him. He in his 5 innings pitched, he looked pretty good. I was impressed. That's the first time I've really actually sat down and watched Triston McKenzie pitch. And I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed with him. I thought he did a really good job. He did a great job of locating, and and that's exactly what you want to see from your pitcher. And Sonny Gray, his first start of the year, he goes 4 1/3, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, both were earned. But other than that, I thought I thought Sonny Gray did very well. He did give up a home run to Jimenez. That was in the 4th inning. Other than that, like I said, I thought he did a great job before T.J. Antone did come in. He finished up the 5th inning, and then he also tacked on another inning in the 6th when he was great, and he struck out 3. Jose De Leon came in. He pitched an inning. He did walk 1. He struck out 2. Amir Garrett came in, gave up 2 hits. And then Lucas Sims came in the top of the 9th, and he pitched when he struck out 2 before Sean Doolittle pitched in the top of the 10th, and he went it in. He did get credited with the victory. He did walk 1 and struck out 1. But, again, the Cincinnati Reds got the job done when needed. Triston McKenzie, on the flip side, like I said, he goes 5 innings. He gave up 5 hits, 1 run. He did walk 4, but struck out 7. Like I said, he did give up the home run to Tucker Barnhart in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Other than that, he did a really good job in his pitching performance today as well. But again, the Cincinnati Reds, throughout the game, they couldn't get anything going. They did battle back, like I said, in the bottom of the 9th inning, where they did score a run to tie it, to send it to extra innings before Tyler Stevenson did walk it off with a very, very, very long single to right center field. But again, big victory for the Cincinnati Reds. They remain in first place. They improved to 9-5 on the season, and this is a much needed victory for the Reds, who battled back. We did see the triple play turned by Joey Votto with a great. And here's the thing about that play. That's a play that if that ball gets by Joey Votto, this conversation of this game is not even in question. This game's out of reach. because that run scores, and the game just continues to, I think it just continues to unwind for the Reds. However, Votto makes the snag, tags, I forget who it was at first base, tags him out, and then throws over to third on the line drive because he should have tagged up and he did not. 1, 2, 3 triple play there. Boom, you're done. You're out of the inning. No harm. Get it done. Gives you a tons of momentum as you're moving forward there. Boom, you got to be jacked up about that. They did it, and they just continued to build off. They did not let it, get to them. They tack on one in the bottom of the ninth to tie it up before Tyler Stevenson again walks it off in the bottom of the 10th in a much, much, much needed victory for this Reds ball club. As, that's something we want to see from them. Plain and simple, they get that, and, there we go. And, again, just a crucial victory for the Cincinnati Reds. Again, keeping them in first place there at a record of 9-5 before today's game against Shane Bieber and the Cleveland Indians with a chance to sweep the Indians and put yourself in a great spot to capture the Ohio Cup. And didn't go as well as we had hoped. It started off with Jose Ramirez with a home run in the first inning off of Wade Miley with 2 outs in the first inning. That's a tough way to start off, especially when you're facing a pitcher like Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber, flat out, the dude's an absolute stud. He did give up 3. He did give up 3 runs, and all 3 were earned. But he goes 8 innings pitched, gave up 6 hits. He struck out 13, and he walked 2. He was great. He was in peak Shane Bieber form, and that's for them, that's what you want to see. And this was one that you got to tip your cap to Shane Bieber on it, plain and simple. And that's what happened in this one. And hey, it is what it is. So, sometimes you're just going to get beat by good pitching, and the Reds were able to, like I said, they were able to muster out 6 hits against Shane Bieber. Struck out 13 times, though. That's probably struck out 16 overall. 3 of them, they struck out, in the bottom of the ninth. All 3 times struck out the side, or not really struck out the side. Well, he did, but, not in order, though. But Wade Miley, tough luck loss there. He goes 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 4 runs. All were earned. He did strike out 5. He did walk 1, but he gave up 2 home runs. 1 to Ramirez and then 1 to Perez before Jordan Luplow got 1 off of Sal Romano in the 7th inning. Sal Romano goes in inning and 2/3, Cionel Perez an inning and a third, and Carson Fulmer, he goes an inning. Each guy got a strikeout, but overall Perez and Fulmer didn't give up a hit in the bottom or in their innings that they pitched. So again, this was a tough one for the Reds. When you got a chance to, take a series from your rival from upstate, I think I think you just have to do it. Unfortunately, they didn't get it done, and it is what it is. Shane Bieber pitched masterful, and that's sometimes that's going to happen. But now you really got to get it together here now, because you now have a road trip, scheduled for the end of this week that, you got to get it done. You got an off day tomorrow. You got a chance to regroup before the Arizona Diamondbacks come to town. You got a 3-game series against the Diamondbacks before you head out to face the St. Louis Cardinals for 3, and then the LA Dodgers for 3. So this is a huge 3-game series here against the Arizona Diamondbacks right now. Right now, as it stands, as games are being played, the Reds are currently half a game up right now on the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Brewers right now, let's see, at this point in time, they were tied with the Milwaukee Brewers 6-6 last I saw. So, that's something that, we'll have to keep an eye on. Let me see if I can find out exactly what the score is right now. Um, but, this is something that, let's see here. It's pulled up. It is. No, I'm just kidding. It's in the sixth inning right now, and it is 3-3. So yeah, a Pittsburgh victory keeps the Reds, a game ahead. But a loss, you're tied for first now, and that's something you don't want to have to deal with. But you look at the Arizona Diamondbacks right now. Arizona's 5-10. The Reds right now, like I said, are 9-6. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They have a run differential of plus 24. So Arizona has a run differential of minus 13. So they're on the negative side of it. 5-10. They're 8 games back of the Dodgers. The Dodgers are 13-2 right now at this point in time. Here's the thing. You have to get it done against Arizona, minimum 2 or 3, before you head to St. Louis to take on the St. Louis Cardinals, who are now 2 games behind you, and they can be put in a situation where, it could get interesting as well. And that's, you don't want to end up having to, you don't have to be working extra hard, because that series against the Los Angeles Dodgers next week is huge. That's a huge series, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. You don't want to have to deal with that. Coming in off of losing 2 of 3 to the Diamondbacks and Cardinals, this could get away from them if they don't, take control of it. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Last time we faced the Diamondbacks, we beat them 6-5 in the year before, losing 8-3 and then 7-0 in those 2 games. But here's the thing. This team, if they get it, if they continue to play like we've seen them against the Indians, they'll be in good shape. But bare minimum, like I said, they have to take 2 or 3 from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And that's what, that's what you look at, and you have to see what we have coming up here, because, like I said, bare minimum, you're looking at a series now against this team that is, again, not in a good spot. Like I said, they're 5-10. They're kind of wheeling right now. You got a chance to kick them while they're down. You do it. And that's what you have to see, from this Reds ball club. Flat out have to make it happen. And, you got Luis Castillo going tomorrow or on Tuesday against Zach Gallen. Then you followed up with Tyler Mahle versus Kelly. And then on the third game in the Businessman Special, you got Widener versus Hoffman. So, that right there is how it's looking. So here's your chance for the Cincinnati Reds now to, bare minimum, like I said, take 2 of 3. If you win every series, you're going to be in a good spot. Obviously, you're going to be cruising like the Dodgers are at this point in time. But you have to get it done when you have that chance. And the Reds, here's their opportunity now. Make it happen. Like, get it done, guys. Take 2 or 3 from the Arizona Diamondbacks. You take 2 or 3, and again, you're in a great spot, and that's what we want to see. So let's do it. Make it happen, guys. Because then you travel to St. Louis. You've already taken 2 or 3 from St. Louis. Can you do it again? You sure can. You did it with your offense. Let's keep those bats staying hot. Keep them hot, and let's get it going here. So that's where we're at. Also, congratulations to Jay Bruce. He just announced his retirement today, and mad props to Jay Bruce. You did a great job while you were here, and we can't thank you enough for everything that you did. So, congratulations on just a simply great career. You were nothing but professional here in Cincinnati. So thank you so much for all of that. And wish you nothing but the best of luck as you move forward in this stage of your career. Good luck to you. It was great. Great job. We can't thank you enough, like I said, for everything you did. So Jay Bruce, tip the cap to you, sir. And like I said, best of luck to you in your in your retirement. So That's going to wrap it up for this episode here of Reds Weekly Recap. I am Chris Asbrock, and again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode. I will be back next week where I take a look at the series that I just discussed against the Arizona Diamondbacks and the St. Louis Cardinals. So, again, thank you guys so much. Follow me on Twitter at I am Chris Asbrock and at ISCincy on Twitter as well. And make sure you check out the website at www.iscincy.com. That is iscincy.com. And we will be back later on this week with a Reds, or not a Reds, geez. Well, I'll be back with the Reds podcast, but we will be taking a look, myself and Nick Semino will be taking a look at the Bengals draft and what we're looking at here and what we expect from the Cincinnati Bengals as they move forward in the draft coming up in just a little over 2 weeks. So with that being the case, thank you guys as always for tuning in. It's truly appreciated. And make sure, like I said, you check us out, follow us on social media and everything like that. And as always, for all your fitness needs, make sure you check out fnxfit.com. That is fnxfit.com. Use the promo code BDiesel for 15% off your purchase. Again, that is promo code BDiesel for 15% off your purchase. And make sure it's capital B and a capital D on that. And as always, thank you guys so much for all your support, and we will be back next week. Take care, everybody.